Hey YouTube, this is On the Purple One and welcome to Boots on the Ground. I had a short little break, had fun, learned a lot, and met a lot of great people that live in a city, in the area of Baltimore. So don't think everyone that lives in a big city is a bad person. I met great people, had a great time. But let's get right into it. Boots on the Ground. This is Texas area, and this is two different Dollar Generals, both fairly new, and one was recently remodeled. Both of them had no canned chicken, no dry pasta, no canned pasta, no tampons, very little bottled water. They were about 75% stocked on the over-the-counter medicine. Both were well stocked with like toilet paper, facial tissue paper, plates and napkins, chips and candy and soda. But they did see price increases. Distilled water was $1, now $1.69. Their Dollar General brand luncheon meat was from $2 to $2.75. Their brand of chocolate hazelnut spread $2 to $2.75. Plus, there was a lot of other products and beverages that were up anywhere from 25 cents to 99 cents on each individual item. Now, Dollar General is also doing self-checkout. They also went to a local donut shop, and they bought 3 Boston cream eclairs and 2 chocolate iced cake donuts for $8.48. They had a good selection of donuts and was doing a brisk business on Saturday morning. Also, this is another supermarket outside of Cleveland, Ohio. Empty shelves for dairy, butter, and cat food. This is Reading, Pennsylvania. It's a former steel manufacturing town. It's the county seat of where this guy lives. Jobs are scarce in the manufacturing as of late. Violent crime is up significantly. Some companies have been doing layoffs and others are short on workers, especially in the service industry. There's been 5 shootings last week and it was all done in broad daylight. A lot of catalytic converters are being stolen, lots. They see at their local Walmart in Reading shortage of dairy products, including milk and cottage cheese. Let's move over to Alaska. A lot of tourists came in the spring, but is dwindling over the summer, almost like winter is already here traffic-wise. Just got back from camping and a salmon fishing. Only 3 spots were camped in out of 40. That's what I am seeing here. It depends where you are. Some areas of the country are getting devastated on the tourist side. Some are not. This is in southeastern Michigan at a local grocery store. Their ground beef and chicken stock is very low, and no prices on the shelves or on the meat packages. No per pound price, no total price, no final price. At the same store, there's bread on the shelves with expiration date later in the month, but the bread was already molding. They picked through, found what they thought was a loaf, guess took it home, and it smelled terrible, so they had to get rid of it anyways. Also, the milk was not expired, but it was bad when they bought it. Getting a lot of reports of bad products, bad produce. This person lives in Sarasota, Florida. There are many empty apartment complexes here. Every weekend, someone is moving out. I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, and when I moved in, the 9th month of 2020, the rent was $1,740. The new lease offer they sent me was for $2,270. So that's a huge increase. That does not include an average extra of $150 for fees such as trash, valet, water, parking, and fees for electrical, water for the rental office. Needless to say, I've declined and will moving back with my mother. I will cut my monthly budget in half. I ran into neighbors who are also moving out suddenly when they were on a month-to-month, and their new increase was astronomical, so they're getting out of there. Total household debt has increased $312 billion in the second quarter to a record $16.5 trillion. So, in the second quarter, $312 billion in debt. That's astronomically, it's increasing. Mortgage rates have shot up. Definitely that has not helped. Also the inflation rate, plus the rising rent. So people are definitely stressed, and what they're doing now is they're using their credit cards to pay for things that they normally would not have used. So be careful. Don't get sucked into that trap of using that credit card, because eventually you have to pay the bill. This is from a farm producer company. The season has been unusual in many ways. August is when most of our grain is harvested here at the farm. it looks like it will be a pretty good crop. However, grains are at its highest price we have ever seen due to the drought pressure from last year and supply chain issues. We don't like exaggerating things, but we also don't want to downplay them. In reality, this is a very super tight supply, and because of this, prices have increased. We are paying double this year for grain over what we paid last year. Cycles and strategies go into farming decisions about when to sell grain for maximum profit. I won't give you a full education on it, but usually in a year of short supply, we might see a spike in price as supply dwindles before the new harvest time. But this year we have seen third and even fourth spikes. We typically see a price decrease during harvest when grain is plentiful, but the worldwide harvest is way below normal. We don't think we will see a decrease this year. If we do, it won't be much. The grain situation is very different than what we're used to. And we want to make sure our customers are aware so they can make good decisions for their family. 10 years ago, a decade ago, we had surplus. We had a world of reserves. So we could go 1 year with no grain harvesting, not a single harvest being, or an ounce of wheat being produced, and we would be okay because we have this. Right now, we don't have that surplus. We have eroded the reserve supply for many different reasons. So that was basically, sum it up. It's not going to get any cheaper for wheat, and it's probably going to go more up, and we don't have the surplus like we should. If we were going into an extended war and extended depression, we should have a surplus. We do not. I think that's criminal. I live in San Antonio, Texas, and some neighbors in the subdivision are receiving flyers saying the military are conducting training exercise in the neighborhood from August 8th through the 12th. I've lived here 5 years and never seen anything like it. My grandparents lived here their whole life and have never seen anything like this. Typically the training happens at the base nearby, but not in neighborhoods. I received numerous. This is sort of normal. What happens, especially if they're more of elite special forces, Delta SEALs team, Marine Recon, what they do is they find new places for them to get trained in. After a while, if you've trained at one facility for so long, you know it in and out. There's no surprises. You know how to play the game of, and you know the tactics. So what they do is they find spaces that are available to let service members train in an environment they have never been in. It is very helpful. It is, some people are saying, oh, conspiracy theories. It could have something, you know, in any of these drills, but typically they don't. When I got out of the military, I came back here and I was an Op 4 for some Marine Recons for their graduation. There was nothing crazy about it. It wasn't nothing scary about it. They weren't trying to intimidate us. They had found some rural property. I traveled there and I was an Op 4 for them. So yes, we need to watch it. We need to document everything that happens, but this is normal. It happens all over the United States. They use either private property or public property to do these exercises. Yes, they'll be using blanks. There could be simulated explosions. It is important to document what they're doing. That's it. This person says there's a homeless camp near Kirkland Air Force Base on the southwest side of town. It has tripled in size in just 6 months. Tripled in size. My wife works for a major hospital chain in California. This is near the Sacramento region. She can only speak for the hospital that she works for, not for any other hospital in this area. Her floor has about 3/4 the amount of nurses it is supposed to have working on any given day. Far below safety standards. On more than one occasion, they had to divert patients away from their hospital in the past month, taking it to another hospital. She's worked there for 5 years. On a daily basis, they give SOS calls asking for extra workers. They're sometimes offer an extra $2,000 per shift to work. They have a shortage of CNAs on the floor, so now nurses and other people have to pick up a lot of the slack that normally would be done by something else. They're supposed to, this floor is also supposed to have 2 anesthesiologists in case of an emergency C-section. But this is not happening. Sometimes they're sharing one of these people with 2 different floors. So definitely patient well-being and patient's health could be jeopardized. Supplies are also an issue. Many of the suppliers have changed and the supplies are more cheaply made and sometimes not available. They started doubling or tripling the time for use in IV lines. As long as they are functioning okay, they're not changing them out. The hospital also used to get full sterile sealed packs for folly kits or blood draw kits. Now they have to piece these kits together with spare parts or when they can find them. The healthcare system is a mess, and it is getting worse. I want to tell you about a bank robbery and a bomb threat in a quiet Florida town about 50 miles from Tampa. People are getting desperate. They provided this story for me. They're looking for an older man, and just the crime rate is increasing. Here in the last 10 years, there was nothing. Now there's car break-ins, and other crime. So be careful. I'm from Vancouver, Washington. My Vancouver Costco is out of russet potatoes. The employer told us it's seasonal. Maybe seasonal when they harvest them, but usually they put such a big supply back they can get through the year. I have never seen Costco out of potatoes like this. I'm a registered nurse, and my husband is a retired fire captain. And right now he's a current fire chief at a small department in Florida. I just started following you, and this reports on Boots on the Ground is actually really good for her because she feels like now she's seen what's happening and she connects with people. She said that Polk, the county she's in, has allowed so many growth in the Davenport area that they're actually sending out letters to people in the rural areas saying that they need to run a pipeline, a water pipeline through their property so they can take water to everything that's building up, because Florida is just expanding rapidly. So this is a concern because where's this water going to come from to service all of these new people? Also, I guess they have a well, and there's other people drilling wells, so as more and more people drill, it drops the water table. I stopped at a Burger King in Winter Haven Saturday morning, and there's only one person working. That was the manager. Let's go switch over to this person says, hey, bring a marker to you to Walmart, because what's happening is that way when you pull the item off, you can just jot the price down on the item so you can double check it when they go through, because they're saying a lot of prices, and I'm getting this from everyone. Like the lentils was supposed to be 98 cents. It rang up $1.38. So a lot of things are ringing up wrong. Also, Hershey's saying they won't be able to meet demand for Halloween and then for Christmas candy. One of their problems were they got rid of a lot of workers, and I'll let you figure out why they got rid of a lot of good workers, and now they can't meet demand. This is a town in New Hampshire. They ordered a fire truck, and the problem is the company to provide the fire truck is going to lose $226,000 if they delivered the fire truck. So they've gone to the town and asked for money, say, hey, we can't do that. We have 50 trucks on order. And they're going to lose about $250 on each truck to finalize the build. So now it looks like it's going to go to court. The town says, no, you sign a contract, you provide us the fire truck at the price we agreed on. If this happens, it will definitely put this company out of business. So yes, it's going to go to court. Hopefully something can be worked out fair on both sides. This is a person that works for a very large retail company that sells firearms. And basically what they say is there's been talk of an FFL crackdown by the ATF considered willful violations. Now, before, you could have had a violation because of a clerical error, and they wouldn't consider this a willful error. But now the ATF is ruling that a lot of these little tiny mistakes that gun shops are making are willful. And if you do a willful, you can be prosecuted. You lose your ATF license to sell firearms. So that is what's happening. So far, the ATF has revoked 273 federal firearms licenses this year, and there's many more that will probably be revoked, but they're working their way through the court systems. This person says they had a friend staying at a very high-end hotel in Texas, and their friend's belongings were stolen, including prescription medication. So now they're out of state, and they're trying to find their medication, so it's a lot of things you have to work through, might not be able to get them. So, warning your viewers to leave no valuables, including prescription medicines, in the hotel room. This is from Ohio. This is a local deli. It's out of chicken and turkey lunch meat. I went to a large chain grocery store. They had plenty on sale at $15.19 a pound. Yes, $15.19 a pound per meat. A lot of people are sending me of the deli meat, where the big pieces where they cut it for you, how much you want. The prices are unbelievable. They also said The produce is poor quality, close to expiration date, and very high price. Locally grown produce, tomatoes $4 a pound, corn 75 cents an ear. They also said monthly utility bills are going up, and gas and natural gas, they're looking at 20 to 30% increase for each one of these. This person, he's a manager of a grocery store delivery department at Walmart, and he's been there for many years. At one time he had 3 employees in his department. He's supposed to have 5. Now he has 1 employee. Just can't find people. Also, they've noticed that they have seen a lot of older people that should be retired, working in restaurants, working in stores like Kohl's and other places that you would normally find high school students and college kids. I'm wondering if the people just can't make it on their fixed income, so they have to supplement by going back to work. Also, they brought up the candy, Halloween candy. The typical price for their cheapest bag last year was $2.66. It will be now at $2 and it'll be $3.98. So from a $2.66 is going to be $3.98. So candy is in short supply. Also, this person said in Eastern Georgia, they just checked their rates on their natural gas, and they've gone up from 75 cents to $1.20 per therm. That's how they measure it. It looks like it went up 25% just this month. So they're thinking they're going to get hit with a 60% increase in their winter heating bills. This person sent me some pictures from Blue Ridge, Georgia, and this was a Rose's store. They had large totes going all over. They actually took the tote, put the lid on it, and just lined them all up on their empty shelves. It just shows you how much products they're actually missing. This another person said the Crossville, Tennessee electric bill is rising. TVA announced that they'll probably expect a 50% increase in their fuel, and that powers their electrical generation. So they're looking at probably my bill is going to go from $150 to $300 plus. And with this increase of the 50% on the cost of the fuel, it could rise up to $500. This person says, I am from Virginia. I work for a bank. Our bank has increased their reserves as a precaution to the recession. I imagine all banks have, even if they have not announced it. They've also, these people bought a small commercial building. They're trying to rent it out. They can't get the doors, the nice glass doors. It's a 4 to 5 months wait. So this is costing their tenant. This is costing them money. I'm in upstate New York, and I was at the Walmart, and their produce was horrendous. It was so bad they didn't even buy anything from the produce section because things were moldy and they didn't want anything to do with it. This is a small wealthy town in southern Florida. Wife went to Home Goods, that must be a store, yesterday in the busiest shopping plaza in town. She said it was empty. I asked her, products or people? She said both. I asked, like a truck didn't make it on Thursday? No, like they're going out of business empty. This one. I heard on another prepper channel that the military is canceling leave and retirees are being called back. If you could ask your audience if they haven't heard anything. So, has anyone officially heard anything? Are you a retiree? Have you gotten your paperwork to go back? Leave's being canceled. A lot of times leave can be canceled at a particular post because things change. So that's nothing to be astonished at. But if they put it out that all military leave is canceled, that's a big deal. Let me just end it right there. I have lots more, but I will cover that another day. Things are changing. We know what happened to President Trump. His house was searched by the FBI. I'm not going to go into that. You know what's happening out there. There's a struggle behind the scenes happening. So just keep prepping, keep praying. Get your house in order. That's what you can control. You can control your house. You can control your family, and you can get ready for what's coming. Thanks for watching.